What is going on, Ramble Nation? It's your boy Jay McNeil, and today we're doing another one of these types of videos. However, instead of roasting ZZ, we're going to be roasting cross on left. Not that I think cross on left is too prevalent, whatever, these days. I don't really see it happening much, but there are still a few people using the method, and I think most of them realize it's worse than cross on bottom and just use it for fun, which is all good. But I do want to make it clear that cross on left is absolutely worse than cross on bottom, and if you do care about being as fast as possible, you should probably just switch to cross on bottom. And here's why. So, firstly, we're going to go into the anecdotal side of things, just like I did in my ZZ video. So basically, like ZZ, cross on left has been around, about as long as CFOP has been around, so about as early as the 80s, I think people are using a mix of cross on left and cross on bottom. I would assume probably more cross on left, honestly, just because of the hardware limitations. Certain turns were probably easier that way. It would make sense because there was a lot more wristing back then, and it seems like cross on left benefits from wristing style turning. So if you're bad at finger tricks, definitely give cross on left give it a go. So yeah, it's been around a very long time, and it has had people using the method even in the relatively modern era. I think the most recent people who are doing anything with it are Jules Desjardins from France, as well as Sergei Ryabko, who's a former European World Champion, former European Champion for 3x3, and also European record holder as far as I remember. And he has recently gotten a national record single for his country, so he's around. There's also Philip Espinoza. He had NER 3x3 average, probably 2010, 2009, something like that. Hard pressed for the exact dates, but yeah, he was pretty relevant in his time. And there's other people as well, David Werner. Again, probably some others, I'm just forgetting names because, fuck cross on left, sorry. Anyways, important thing, anecdotally speaking, if it had any real significant advantage over cross on bottom, we would have figured it out by now. And unlike ZZ, where people can argue, oh, but we haven't found something with ZZ, well, it's kind of similar to that, but especially with cross on left, because cross on left is the same method as cross on bottom, it's all CFOP. If there was anything we haven't described with cross on left, it would probably transfer over just as well to cross on bottom, if not better. Most likely. So we'll dispel that, just don't tell me that there's untapped potential. There's not any fucking untapped potential. So let's get on into why I don't like it. So there's two main things I don't like about it. There's the finger trick side of things, which I'll save for last because I think that's the most compelling argument. And then there's the visibility argument. And then tied in with the finger tricks is also ease of solutions. We'll talk about visibility first. So with CFOP, cross on bottom, you can see 22 stickers relatively easily because you don't really hold a cube with tunnel vision like this. You kind of slant either this way or this way depending if you're righty or lefty dominant as a solver. So you see the 8 relevant stickers on top, and then you see the 7 here and the 7 here, and that adds up to 22 easily visible stickers. Cross on left is the same. You've got the 8 over here because I don't know why you'd be holding the cube like this. You don't really have a choice if you're righty or lefty dominant. I guess you could do cross on right if you're lefty dominant, which is super edgy, but still shit. Yeah, so you got the 7 stickers here, 7 stickers here, and then the 8 there. So both ways it is 22 stickers. However, I do argue that cross on bottom has slightly better visibility, and the reason why is because it's a very small movement to see these 22 stickers and then replace these 7 stickers worth of information with these 7 over here. It's just like that. With cross on left, it's like, even if you rotate a small way up like this, you have to get all the way to here to see that amount of information. So yeah, it's pretty janky. That's pretty much it. That's why I think the visibility is slightly worse. It's not the biggest reason why cross on left sucks in my opinion, but it is something. You just have to rotate a bit more. You just test with your hands. That's nothing. This is zilch. And then even if you do see stuff here, you gotta regrip like that, whereas if you see stuff over here, you can oh, okay, blah blah blah. So that's the visibility stuff. Again, it's a very, very minor thing, and again, it's not really where it falls short, but I feel like it is something. And I think cross on left solvers would agree that there are some visibility issues with cross on left. But the biggest reason, it comes down to finger tricks, and it is largely related to the idea of overturning, something which Kian Mansour, Kian, because it rhymes with neon, sorry, he's talked about with Rue, particularly with last 6 edges, like doing multiple M's in a row is like overturning, because like doing that and then another one and then another one, it's just bad for regrip type stuff. So with cross on bottom, your U moves, they can go pretty much any which way. You know, you could have a F12 that's like RU something U, but the R and R, basically like with the turns that aren't connected to the cross, so the U moves aren't connected to the cross, but the R moves are, they're constantly undoing each other. So for something like this, it would look like that, and you can do that without regripping pretty easily. And that's just because your R turns are being delegated to the turns that will undo each other. So there's no real chance of overturning for the most part. And with cross on left, oh, and the last thing, actually I'll get into it in a sec. So that's the main thing. So there's the overturning side of things, that you can get overturning in the U moves, but it's a lot easier to deal with because index fingers in general are just a lot better at dealing with it than like, what is this? So cross on left, let's take this same F12 case. So the U prime and U moves, they're the ones that now kind of undo each other constantly, and I feel like that's just a poor use of the index fingers and also the... I'll get to the ring fingers in a sec because D inserts just don't really exist with cross on left because of visibility stuff, but I'll get to that in a sec. There are plenty of reasons why cross on left sucks, but I'm just getting the important one out of the way now. Basically it's to do with the overturning, so trying to solve this pair from here, you've got to do like U prime RU, and then there's not super bad of a regrip, and then this one you could either do like that. Here it's like, how would you do this pair? I guess you could do either like that, or if I'm giving you guys the benefit of the doubt, it's like, and then you got to like let go of the cube, and then like this pair, it's like, what is that crap? Look how much I have to let go of the cube. It just feels very unstable, and that's where I take a lot of issue with the way of solving F12 cross on left. So it's mainly to do with like overturning, basically like having the U prime and U moves with index fingers and to a very much lesser extent ring fingers. It just feels like a kind of poor like prioritization, because they're just much better at doing multiple turns in a row, whereas like R turns, you know, you really want to be doing them back and forth. You know, think about why, like, what's a good example? Think about why you can do like R, U prime, U prime really fast. Actually, I'll get a solve cube. And then try and do that cross on left. Yeah, like, it's no. No. And then the last thing, so I will talk about the D moves, is maybe I am wrong, but just because of the nature of the blind spots, like this is like an entire like blind spot. Like you have to get all the way here to even see half the stickers of this particular slot. D prime RD inserts just don't really exist for cross on left. So that's like one type of insert you can't really do. You have to do an entire X2 to do it. And I think X rotations in general are the worst ones, because you have to rotate your hands just so much to do them. Y rotations, they've been proven to be really fast. One clip that comes to mind is Aiden Bartlett. I think it was at Snowco Summer, the one that I attended just before US Nationals. There's like a clip on Mental Block TV of him doing a Y2 just like that. You don't really see that with X rotations, although people can argue you just do wide Ls, but it's still just more regripping. And then I could argue, oh, you can just do wide D turns, so, you know, fuck off. So yeah, it's just the worst rotation, and like with C-Fop, of course, like LU inserts, so like inserting, we'll flip this edge. That was a bad way to flip it. But yeah, like you don't see these kinds of inserts as much, but they're at least like reasonably possible. Like all you have to do to see the pair is just be like this, and then, you know, see that. Maybe you've like looked ahead to it and then do that. And it just feels a lot more difficult to do with cross on left. And I guess if you want to call this an argument, again, I think it's a very minor thing, but like after F12, you gotta do a Z rotation to get to last layer. And, you know, it's a small rotation, but like, if we can accept the fact that like last layer algorithms are better on top than they are on right, which, I mean, don't tell me there's untapped potential in genning cross on right algs, just don't. Please. Please don't do it. I think it's very safe to say that cross on bottom is objectively and measurably better than cross on left. And I'll say that again for the people in the back. Cross on bottom is objectively and measurably better than cross on left. I don't care how nice cross on left solutions can be sometimes. And when I say cross on left, I mean like the actual cross step of the solve, not the F12 solve, because we know that step isn't really that great very often, if ever. So, yeah. If you use cross on left, either accept the fact that you cube for fun, you don't really have any goals anymore, and you just, you enjoy it because it's what you're used to and it's unique. That's cool. But if you genuinely give a shit about being as fast as you possibly can be, take the time to switch to cross on bottom. That's really all I'm trying to say. Thanks for watching.